So we're basically standing right next to each other in the bathroom.
Hold each other's balls?
No. He's going to the bathroom, has the pen in his hand, signing the autograph, and I'm like,
Why he's pissing?
yeah. I was like, I could have waited like 2 minutes.
Oh, that's so awkward.
Okay, I'm reloaded.
Jeff London, DJ Jason Smith.
Here come the bang.
When the sun goes down, the music turns up. A whole new world opens up behind the velvet rope. Join us as we take you behind the scenes of the nightlife world.
Are you ready?
DJ Jason Smith, Jeff London. I'm the promoter, he's the DJ podcast, live from Boston, Massachusetts.
All right, episode 22.
Episode 22. We
not in studio today.
We are what do we say, on vacation? No, we're moving places. We're in different destinations today, so we couldn't get together to get into the studio, unfortunately. But not in a bad way. Yeah, not in a bad way. We're just in two separate places, and we still want to give you guys the podcast experience from Jeffrey and myself.
So welcome to episode 22.
22.
I'm the promoter. He's the DJ.
That's it.
I guess we'll start off this episode with a little rest in peace to a legend, Biz Markie.
Yeah, man. What a legend. What not only a legend, but what a great human and what a great contributor to the culture of hip hop and the music industry, all the way from the songs that he made and produced to today, till up to his passing, of just DJing and being a curator of music. Somebody that really looked up to him, besides myself and everybody else, was DJ Riz. DJ Riz and him were very close friends, and they used to have, like, if Riz needed to find a break or find out what song was sampled for this, like, Biz was the guy to go to. His knowledge of music was something else, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. His collection was, and he actually had the only set, I believe, of.
Yeah, that's the question that everybody seems to have. What you just said. So the question is it the only one? How is it the only one in existence? It can't. So what we're talking about
is what were they called? Techniques 700s.
Oh, I didn't know they actually had a model number. I thought they were just the Technique 1200s, but 7 inches.
Yeah, so there was like a 7-inch.
Yeah, for 45s.
Yeah, for 45s. Mm-hmm. And supposedly he's the only one to ever have a pair. Not confirmed, but supposedly.
I've never seen another pair anywhere else other than Biz Markie having it. That's for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, it's a sad day. It was a sad week. We didn't have our podcast last week because we were traveling then also. But, I'm glad that we got to speak on it, because it was definitely a sad day in our culture, for sure.
Absolutely. So rest in peace, Biz Markie.
Yeah, man. Thank you for your contribute. You know what I'm trying to say.
Thank you for contributing to the culture.
Yes.
Your
contributions. That's what I was looking for. Sorry, I haven't had my coffee yet, guys. Just bear with me. You know how I get, man.
Let's get into the question of the week. Oh, we got multiple questions of the week. Since we did not have an episode last week, we have a few questions lined up from you guys. As always, we appreciate you guys writing in.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for the questions, for sure. Like I always say, hit us on our individual IGs, or you could hit us on I'm the promoter, he's the DJ IG, or even our Gmail with the same thing. So you can hit us with all that shit.
Yes, sir.
So what's the question of the week, Jeff?
All right, we'll start with this one. They're all pretty short ones, so we can take it there. Do promoters take bets or DJs take bets on when a 21st birthday table is booked? What time will she be carried out, and will she be carried out by midnight?
That's pretty funny.
It
Shout
is pretty
out to
funny.
whoever. Shout out to whoever sent that question in, because that is great.
And
It's
if
pretty
anybody
good.
knows, when you get a 21st birthday, they are not lasting. So they either come in fresh from dinner, all
Which is
ready to go.
they're always like the first table, right, Jeff?
Always.
Like one of the first tables in there, and they're like, "Oh, did we come too early?" Because they've never been to a club before and don't know what the experience is like. So they always like the first table to show up because they're so excited to actually go into the nightclub.
It's like my first bottle service. Yes, absolutely. So yes, we do take bets with others to see
That's
how
a
long
better
they will
question
last.
for. Yeah, that's a good question for you.
100%. It's not my favorite kind of table. I know people are celebrating, but we know it's not going to be a big table. But it is a celebration, so you have to acknowledge that they are 21 and can be returning customers for years. So you just got to bear with it the first time. They learn their lesson, and then no longer rookies at bottle service.
But it's a good place for you to groom these people into being future clients of yours, also.
Absolutely, that's true.
So you make sure they have a good time. My question to follow up that question.
Let's hear it.
Is now, what's worse? No, I shouldn't say what's worse. Pardon me. Let's retract that.
All right.
What how would I want to phrase this? Not what is worse, but what is more interesting? The 21-year-old party or the bachelorette party?
21-year-old party.
But the bachelorette party is amateur night to the fullest, though, too, because you have a lot of people that have never been out to a nightclub before.
True. But usually they're over 21, so they have a little bit more
of a drinking experience.
They're
weathered.
Money to spend. Yeah.
Okay. There's variables that go with that. I get it. But 21-year-olds aren't spending. They're not buying 5 bottles. They're only buying one, and they're splitting $100 a piece. Basically.
Right. But like a bachelorette party can get wild.
Definitely. I've been in Atlantic City for a long over a decade, and I've seen my fair share of bachelorette party, and Vegas too.
Yeah,
Vegas
is the mecca of bachelorette parties.
Oh, of course, but half of my career was based between bachelorette and parties in Atlantic City and Vegas. You know what I mean? I've always been at either one of those venues. So
yeah,
that's awesome. What's the second question?
Oh, the second question. It's one for both of us. It's an easy question. It says,
all right,
here's one for you guys. Have you ever worked for competing promoters in the same city at the same time? Absolutely. We didn't start working together till about 3 months ago.
Oh, you and I personally? No, definitely not. We were always for the first year I was actually in Boston, we were actually competition.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And the opportunity came for this new party that we were going to start on Wednesdays that was going to be more geared towards the turntablist side of DJs. And when I was brought in to help with that party, I said, I know this guy named Jeff London who would be an awesome fit for this Wednesday night party. And after some debate and some time, they agreed with me, and they brought Jeff in. And now Jeff was one of the top, promoters at the company right now, and he's crushing it. And we're all very happy he's on the team. So, thank God for that Wednesday party, because that definitely shifted a lot of things. Now we're on the same team, and we're winning extra hard.
Absolutely. So, yes, to answer that question, yeah. But you can be competitors and you can be friends as well. So,
well, I think competition within business is a beautiful thing, because it keeps you
healthy too. Yeah,
it's very healthy. You can't ever look at it and be like, "Oh, they're stealing from." No, it makes you want to. It helps the city in general. The more competition, the more opportunities people have for these great experiences, instead of it just becoming the same old stale shit.
Absolutely. No, I agree. 100%.
That's why I like this new Wednesday party we're doing at the Restaurant Lounge Empire in the seaport of Boston. It's a fun little party that I get to really curate the room and play the room every week. I'm playing some different type of music. It's never the same thing. I don't want to give people the same experience at this lounge that they could get at one of our bigger clubs, because then it's just
Right.
like, all right, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, all the same music. It just you know how many times if you're only going to go out once if you're going to hear the same kind of music 2 days in a row.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely the same stuff. Oh, guest
So with
appearance
that
by
being
Aaliyah.
said, guest appearance always up in here. There she is. So
All right.
it's that time for the Yelp reviews, everybody's favorite
Oh, we
segment of the
got
show.
one more
What?
question.
Oh, we got one more question?
We
Oh,
got
I
a
didn't see
triple.
that one.
We
Oh
got a
shit, I
triple
thought it was only
question.
a deucer. Sorry. A deucer.
Triple.
Hit me.
So this one is important
Oh,
for
okay.
people. It's always important to tip out people, and so tip pools and tip shares from waitresses to servers to bartenders, busboys, and hosts. What's the best way to break it up? And do you palm the doorman on the way in or the way out? Meaning palming the doorman, meaning tip him on the way in or tip him on the way out.
Well, this is a Jeff London question for sure. But
All
I'll
right,
tell you what,
go ahead.
tipping the door guy, I know, because everybody's had to do it. You know what I mean? It's definitely something you do on the way in. You know, because it serves no purpose to give him it on the way out, unless he did something for you in particularly that helped you out.
Well, I disagree on that. What if you tip him on the way out as a way to say thanks, but now you don't owe him anything, or he doesn't owe you anything. But
Well,
he
it's a little
just,
different in New York. You're not getting in the door unless you've greased the guy's palm.
yeah, that's true. But for
But
servers and bartenders, if you break it up and things like that, best people to tip, obviously, bar backs, 100%. Obviously, the bottle service, take care of them. Door guy on the way in or the way out always helps.
well, if you have to take care of them to get in the venue, then it's different. If you don't have to, if there's no pressure to, you're not
True.
cutting the line or doing anything special, then tipping them on the way out is gracious. Yes, for sure.
Right.
I understand that. But
Uh,
I was looking at it from a different perspective for sure.
Tipping the VIP host. If he
Yeah, do you get tipped,
changes
bro?
your table, upgrades your table, things like that.
It's like tipping
That's what
like the hotel. I always tip the hotel person checking me in, dude.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's a simple gesture that could upgrade your table, and you never
Upgrade
know.
my room, yeah, dude. You never
There you
know,
go.
dude.
Yeah.
That's a great question, guys. Thank you guys so much for sure.
All right, it's that
But
time.
I got some. I was gonna add something to that.
Add something.
I forgot. Never mind. I don't usually get tipped.
Oh yeah, for a DJ.
Oh,
DJ
that's what I was
tip.
gonna tell the story. Oh, so I was at Sapphires in New York. Shout out to my guy James Wing. We're gonna have him on the podcast. He's one of the biggest promoters in New York City. A really good friend of mine, and they just started up Sins, which is Sapphires parties on Sunday. And actually, 2 Sundays ago, this past Sunday they had Jadakiss and Fabulous performing.
Wow.
At a strip club, Sapphires. It was amazing. So I went there 2 weeks ago to visit, and the girls are just crushing it. Right, there's just money flying everywhere. I'm on stage because I played a little guest set, and I hear the one of the dancers goes, "Hey, did you take 20 out of there?" To the guy, because there's a guy who came on stage that would take all the money.
Right.
And he goes, "No, but I'll take it now." Dude, every time a girl goes on stage, this guy's getting tipped out $20. So within an hour, this guy's almost pulling $200
That's
just
awesome.
in tips from just raking up the dollars off the stage, dude. That's insane. I was like, God, man, do I want to be that guy? Because he's making pretty good money. In a 4-hour shift, this guy could pull almost $1,000, bro.
That's pretty good stuff.
Pretty good stuff. And tipping DJs, don't come up to me. I don't. You want a song? Cool, I'll play it. You try to hand me money, I won't take it. I say I want you to have fun. That's my tip.
There you go. Good tip.
But if you insist and you leave that money in the DJ booth, I don't take that money and put it in my pocket either. I leave it there until you leave because you don't own me. I'm not playing for you. I'm not your live DJ jukebox, yo. That's why if you ask me for a song and I don't play it, and you come back, it's like, dude, you didn't play my song. I gave you $20. You go, no, I didn't. I left it right there. That's your $20.
What if they leave? Do you take it?
I'm leaving it at I'm taking it. My tip. Awesome. I don't gamble, but what I usually do when I get tips in like Vegas or Atlantic City is I usually take that, whatever it is, and I just go play it in roulette. And if it turns into more money, it turns into more money. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
That's a good way. I like that.
So with that being said, those are great questions. Keep them coming in. We really appreciate them. And it's time for Jeff London's favorite segment of the show, which I jumped the gun earlier, and I apologize. One time for Jeff London's Yelp reviews. I'ma get on Yelp. I'ma get on Yelp. I'ma get on Yelp in a minute and review this piece of shit place. All right, man. What we have this week, brother?
We got some good ones this week. So we're starting off with Anaval C.
First of all, that name's pretty fire. Anaval. Do you think it's their real name? Because they definitely Yelp. If just so you guys that we're looking at it right now, this person definitely does not have a profile picture. So I don't know if that's
no profile pic from this one.
Anaval.
So they say, "Wow, they pepper spray me because a racist Cubano was just acting like he's a cop. He kicked my friend out for no reason and pepper sprayed me because I told him he had no reason." This guy got pepper sprayed at a club.
And I would say I would give that because I told him I had no reason.
Yeah, he definitely had a reason. I mean, well, the other thing is if you do get pepper sprayed, that is definitely a 1 star. Yeah, but
yeah, I think so.
But to get pepper sprayed at a club, you got to do something crazy.
I wish he started this with, I wish I could give this place 0 stars because a racist Cubano just acting like he's a cop. That's verbatim what they wrote. So we're not reading these wrong. That's verbatim what these people are writing on these Yelp reviews. So it's amazing.
All right. Eileen A says,
yeah,
this place sucks. My boyfriend got in for free from a promoter, so we figured why not go? It was a mistake. The music was bad. You can barely get into the dance floor. I got 2 free drinks, one of which looked kind of gross, so I put it down because I didn't want to drink it. It was free, so no big deal to me. The security came to me and asked if I put the cup down. I told them yes, which they then kicked me out because they told me I puked in a cup. Like, what even? I took literally 1 sip and put it down. I don't even know where they got this idea from. Sorry your drinks can pass off as vomit, but literally I did nothing wrong. This happened literally 10 minutes ago. If I could write this whole post, I really don't think I could vomit straight into a tiny cup. I'm really glad I spent $0 at the place. It's not worth it. Don't waste your money.
Oh my God, that's
First of all, this person got in for free and got free drinks and still gave it 1 star.
Well, because they got kicked out.
But still, they got it for free and got free drinks?
I think that bitch threw up in the cup, bro.
I think she did too.
Like she took a sip of it, or like she was drunk before they got there. Man, people have done that, bro. Like just not like projectile thrown up, but just like, oh, it just hit me wrong, and like spit it back up in the cup and had some
exactly
food in
what
it.
she did.
That's totally what she did. Well, it's her own fault. She shouldn't have got lit before she got to the club, bro.
No, Eileen.
Come on, Eileen. You made a bad move.
All right, we got one more. We got Tess F.
That's a Dexter Midnight song, right? Dexter's Midnight song?
Dexter Midnight Riders, I think it's called.
Or Midnight Marauders.
Yeah.
No.
All right, Tess F says, I don't get it. They usually have a line and or cover, and I firmly believe that waiting in line and paying covers is for suckers. I've been drunk in bigger shoe boxes than this place. And the other patrons were about 12 years old. Next. P.S. they do make strong drinks. I left my shoes there one time. I really like those shoes. Oh well.
Well, they should at least give them 2 stars if they make strong drinks. I think that's a very good reason to continue to go to an establishment. You know what I mean? Like you get your money's worth.
It's funny that she compared it to the size of a shoebox, but
She
then
must be
also
very
said
small.
that she left her shoes there as well.
The puns that are going along with this story.
Unbelievable.
That's awesome. Jeff, thank you for the Yelp reviews this
Absolutely.
week, man. They're fucking awesome as always, dude.
Thank
Nice,
you.
man. So what we got next, man? Oh, we're gonna talk about. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about the greatest thing that happened in hip hop culture in a long time. Before we talk about it, I have a question for you, Jeff. Do you think these young kids that like like the trap artists that we play a lot of in the clubs right now and that stuff, do you think that what went on with Dipset and the Lox had any effect or they had any appreciation for that in like it mattered how big of a moment that really was, not only for hip hop but for New York City? Or do you think they just like those guys are old and it's stupid? Or did they earn respect from new kids by doing that too?
I think they earned respect. I think I don't think they thought it was stupid because it was such a big event. I don't think anybody could.
Dude, the internet is going crazy.
I mean,
like I spoke to some people that I haven't watched it yet, and they're like, "I don't even want to watch it. I think I felt like I watched the whole thing already."
Yeah, I mean, it was amazing.
It's a must. It's a must see, though.
100% a must see, and we're talking about the Lox versus Dipset versus they did it live.
We talked about this a few weeks ago because we were trying to get tickets to go see it, and obviously our connects never came through because we didn't get to go see it.
I do know people that were there that said it was unbelievable.
Yeah, shout out my guy Scram Jones for sure. He was there. He didn't know which side to pick because he lives in the YO, and he just dropped a new record with Jim Jones. Wow. So he was on the fence on both sides. But it was just so good for the culture. Like the snapping was so good. They were breaking each other's balls so bad. They were like fighting on stage. Jadakiss took Jewel Santana's like his headband and threw it on the ground like at the perfect moment. It was just the banter was so beautiful. The diplomats just looked so elegantly ignorant. It was perfect. It was so like New York, ignorant, beautiful, like awesomeness, bro.
It was awesomeness. I mean, I think some of the, I think the difference in between two was the Lox's stage presence. I mean,
let's wait before we get into that.
Yeah.
What have I been saying off air? I was like, before when we were having the conversation, I was like, I thought it was just going to be a blowout the other way. And I thought the Dipset was just going to crush it, right? And then I read an article. I pulled it up here. Let me see if I can find it. I don't know how to use this iPad. Oh, there we go. And the guy from GQ magazine wrote the same thing. The same. I just had more of a connection with Dipset's music than I did with the Lox. But I think when the Lox started performing, I forgot how big those. I think I got something. I figured it out. So last night when I was heading to my gig last night, I played a playlist that I found of Dipset and the Lox, like the songs they perform.
Yeah.
Dipset's records on the album were so fire.
Right.
Live, they sucked.
Yeah.
The Lox records on the album weren't as great as they were live. They were two opposites. Dipset's records sound better on records. Lox sound better live in person than their albums sound.
Well, also they're featured on so many classics too. The Lox.
Oh, so many. Like I was going, like Jadakiss could have done so. Like I was running through this to make sure because it went so fast and they started doing the what's the word I'm looking for? They were doing parts where like they would do like three
Yeah,
songs
it's
in
like
a row.
compilations of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to make sure, but I would have loved to seen Jadakiss do uh uh Why. He didn't do Why.
Yeah.
I would have liked to seen Jadakiss do what other one was it that I wanted him to do? Oh, not Jadakiss, but Styles P. I would have liked him to done My Life. My
Yeah.
life is all I had. Oh my God, I forgot another record that Styles P had that was awesome. They didn't do, and Jadakiss had another record. I was just on the tip of my tongue.
It was pretty
Why?
awesome. They did some freestyles too off of like Clues tape, and I mean they some of that stuff was bringing it back so New York.
Oh yeah, they're doing the features on the mixtapes and stuff.
Yeah.
And
But they back
I
to
would have
this.
liked. You know what Cameron? I wanted the Cameron to do Horse and Carriage,
Oh, of course, yeah.
but he
Freestyle.
doesn't do any. I saw. We were watching. We were talking about the Nori. What's the drink champs when he was talking on Drink Champs about
Yeah.
how he doesn't perform any of his first album songs because he didn't feel like that was his music.
Right.
Yeah.
Did
So
speaking of that, they performed which is our title song for this podcast.
I couldn't believe they did Banned from TV, dude. That
Banned
was
from
so
TV,
fire. Yo, first of all, the Lox came out firing. They
Yeah.
came out and did "Fuck You," and they are so well rehearsed and so well put together. The Dipset looked like they were just like so ignorant. They had no idea what was going on.
Well, I think a lot of the Lox performance stuff came from when they were on Bad Boy and Diddy, and learned
They were
how
just well. Again, referring back to that GQ article I just read, the guy said, the thing is between the Lox and Dipset also was Dipset had so many trials and tribulations. They break up, they fight, they argue over money. They're not. The Lox have always been really like locked in, dude.
Right.
Even with their solo projects, like I don't even feel like, to be honest with you, Cam is part of Dipset anymore.
Yeah. Well,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
you could see Styles singing Jadakiss lyrics, vice versa. It was Luch singing.
They put on a fucking show. I would spend money to go to a Lox show.
Well, now they're going on tour, so it's going to be the Lox, State Property.
Yeah, which will be dope too. So who's going to be in State Property? Petey Crack. Was Petey Crack in State Property?
Yeah.
Who else? Beanie, obviously.
Yeah.
Well,
it was.
how's he doing health wise?
He looks good. Yeah.
He got sick for a little while there, right?
Maybe.
Petey Crack, Freeway.
Yeah, Young Guns.
Oh, Young Guns. Oh, they had that one record. Can't stop loving. There's no better love. No better love. They had an R&B singer on there named Rel that was always featured. He was featured on Jay-Z records too, but he never had anything come out for himself.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Band for TV, Suck It or Not was cool. It was just like Dipset just didn't have the energy or the oomph to like. The Lox were locked in and they were firing, bro.
Well,
Jadakiss is a fucking beast, bro.
I think DJs too.
Oh, Technician was amazing. Shout out Technician. Speaking of which, that's what I wanted to say. Next, my friend wrote a great thing, and it's very important. And shout out my guy DJ Finesse, good friend of mine for a long time. Hope last night's rappers realized the importance of a great show DJ. Salute the technician to the DJ. An artist DJ should be feared or really respected by other artist DJs. Yo, Technician put that whole thing together. He was switching up the beats as they're performing. He kept the energy going.
It's unbelievable.
Dude, if the Lox rehearsed that shit, some of it.
100%.
Had to have. Dipset did. The guy in GQ also said if the Dipset just did a little bit of rehearsing, it could have went a long way.
Yeah, I agree.
The highlight I believe for you was you loved how there were just so much ignorant shit going on that they're
Oh
just
man,
like,
it was so
get
ignorant.
off the stage, yo. If you're not a
I love
rapper,
I love when DJs yell like, "Yo, we ain't performing unless everybody's off the stage." And then,
yeah,
oh man, I was ready. I love the
it
dudes that
was
were just like huge, massive dudes, with just like just
so big.
huge. And then some of these dudes took off their shirts. It was
Oh my god,
ridiculous.
so ignorant. It was the most beautiful ignorant situation ever.
Yeah, it
You
was.
know what I
Oh,
mean?
man.
Like, oh, Jadakiss had fucking shorts on with Timberlands. Like, come on,
Oh, it was awesome.
Dude. Jewel's had his fucking
Okay,
his Louis Vuitton do rag. Like, it was so
with like a
elegant.
leather Averex jacket on. Oh, it was
Oh my god,
unbelievable.
it was so ignorant and elegant at the same time. It was so New York in the culture of
It
that
was New York.
beautiful time, dude. It
It
was.
was.
Oh, the funny part was when Jim Jones went to grab when he did We Fly High, and he was like, "Hold on, I gotta get this new necklace I bought." And Styles grabs
Yeah,
him. He's like, "Yo, that shit is mad corny, son."
yeah.
And
So
Jim Jones fell off the stage, bro.
I saw that. That's hilarious. Yeah.
Well,
Um,
I'm glad that happened. I think it was probably in the top 5, close to the top best verses there was. So shout
oh
out to
yeah, agreed.
Timberland and Swiss Beats for putting that together, man.
Awesome. Yeah.
That was great. It didn't go the way that I expected it to go, and I'm glad it didn't because I was totally surprised. And I
Very true.
watched the entire fucking thing, and it was beautiful. It was
It was.
elegant and ignorant at the same time, and just hood as fuck. And it made me so happy to be a part of this culture and
Agreed.
represent New York, man. I know I'm in Boston, but I'm a New York kid, and I've always been a New York kid, and it's meant so much to me to be actually a part of that culture, dude. So
That was awesome.
shout
Yeah.
out to hip hop and shout out to New York, and
True.
it's a beautiful
Absolutely.
thing, man. That's awesome. I'm so glad that I got to watch that. I know we were supposed to watch it together, but I had to go to see a Guns N' Roses concert. Cause yeah, I like different stuff, bro.
Should we do a
So
little
yeah,
story time action?
yeah, story time. Let's go. I check my notes. I don't have a. It's we're doing this live, so it's a little different. I don't have my notes in front of me. I'm trying to figure out. I have all these Apple devices in front of my face, and I don't know how to fucking use any of them. Like I don't want the notes on my phone. I want it on my iPad because my iPad doesn't shut off. But yeah, let's get into story time. If you guys don't know, every week Jeff has hilarious stories. I have hilarious stories. We always have hilarious stories. The podcast is about experience, giving you guys experiences of ours that we experience of funny moments in the club that have been happening and things that just crazy shit that happens in the club. So let's go with this week's story, Jeff.
Gather around, kids. It's story time with Uncle Jeff. The names have been left out to protect the guilty.
Now, here's a little story I got to tell.
All right. This week's story time is called "The Worst Place for an Autograph."
I could tell you where I think that's going to be already.
So the story goes, I had this Major League Baseball player in from the Red Sox, frequent the club all the time, great guy. And the owner told me, next time this guy comes in, it's my son's favorite player.
That's like such an awkward position to be put in, though, right?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
so awkward, yeah.
I need this.
I got
I need this autograph by him next time he comes into the club. So I'm like, all right, sure. I'm friendly with this guy. I've known him for a couple of years. Great guy. So it wasn't a problem.
But still, it's always awkward asking that question.
100%. Yeah, I hate doing it. I hate doing it. I don't do autographs in the club. I don't do autographs in front of people. If I, so that other people, notice, or it's just, they're trying to have a fun time. I'm not doing it.
Of course. So
we go to this club. They have a private bathroom in the back, and he's like, "Yo, I gotta go to the bathroom." He's like, "Can you bring me? Can you walk me over to the private bathroom because you have to go through the back ways and stuff? So I have to okay it through security."
Yeah.
So I'm like, "Oh man, this is like kind of like the perfect timing, but also like the worst timing." So I say to the guy, I'm like, yeah, sure,
Well, because
no problem.
you're away from the table and you're away from the madness, and you could actually hear each other speak,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
So I'm like, can I ask you? I was like, the owner's son's, big fan of you guys. Is there any way I can get an autograph? He's like, yeah, sure. So I bring him to the bathroom. So I run to get the ball, and I'm waiting like outside the bathroom door, and then I'm like, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom now too. So I have the ball on me, and he's like, do you got the ball? And I'm like, yeah. So we're basically standing right next to each other in the bathroom.
Hold each other's balls?
No. He's going to the bathroom, has the pen in his hand, signing the autograph, and I'm like,
why, he's pissing?
Yeah. I was like, I could have waited like 2 minutes.
Oh, dude. That's so awkward, bro.
So then he
wait. You have to explain though. Was it a baseball or was it a basketball?
It was a baseball. He was a baseball player.
Oh, I didn't hear it. I'm sorry. I was trying to fix my notes. I apologize. All right, so it's not so weird. I think of the basketball is so big, like
the baseball is still weird. So I'm like, I could have
waited,
waited,
weird, but easier to manage, yeah.
But still, and then he hands it back over to me, but I'm still going to the bathroom, so it's even more weird. And I'm like, oh my god! I was like, I couldn't wait 2 minutes longer. He asked for it when he's going to the bathroom. We couldn't have done it on the way back to the thing. So I was like, anyway, we get it done. We both go in the bathroom. I put the ball in there. I put it on the owner's desk. And the owner texts me the next day. He's like, yeah. He's like, oh, I really appreciate it. My son's going to like it. I didn't tell the owner, though, that I got the autograph while the guy was taking a piss. But it was the worst place ever for an autograph.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's dope. That happened to me once, and I got denied.
Who was it?
It crushed me. I never. You know me. I don't ask for nothing. I don't. I don't get starstruck.
Was it a sports player?
Oh, the GOAT sports player. Not your GOAT. The GOAT. Well, I'll tell a quick story. So every Thursday, I used to DJ at this place called Underbar. Shout out my guy Mike. We're Chital Group. I used to work there every week, Thursday. Jeter used to come in there literally almost every Thursday because they had these, it was a square box, but they had cabanas that you could go into and just shut the curtains. So it was cool. So Jeter would come in, shut the curtain, and have his people in there. Long story short, I did a cooking show with Charles Oakley. Shout out Charles Oakley. Jeter walks in. I don't know Jeter. I'm not saying I ever spoke to Jeter. I've never had any interaction with Jeter because I just stay in my lane. I do my job. It's not my thing to go out of the way. But I knew Charles Oakley, and I had a relationship with him. So I was like, Charles, I'm talking to Charles, da-da-da-da. And he introduced, and behind Charles is fucking Michael Jordan, bro. He introduced me to Jordan, right? I end up going to the bathroom. Jordan comes in the bathroom at the same time. I go, bro, I hate to do this, but bro, can I get your autograph, man? And he said no. And it was just him and I in the bathroom. He said no to me, and I was just like, ugh. I go, but Charles Oakley just introduced us to each other, and he wouldn't do it, dude. I was so bummed. But still, man, it was pretty cool. And then one time, I think it was Charles, it was the craziest. Jeter, Charles Oakley, Jordan, Mr. October, which was Reggie Jackson, Tino Martinez, and that's it. What a fuck! It was All-Star night. It was like that week of last All-Star weekend in New York when the Yankee Stadium was gonna have the last All-Star weekend in it. So yeah, it was fun, man.
That's pretty crazy.
That's New York, though. You never know what's gonna happen in those places. That's why it's so beautiful.
Wow!
So that's my story time.
Double bathroom story time.
One's good. One ended well. One ended with a broken heart. But that's all good. So, guys, moving on. You know how we do it every week. We try to bring some different kind of news to the table. So we started something new called the PNN. It's the Positive News Network. Jeff always finds some positive news to report on because we're sick of hearing all that COVID shit and all that Trump shit and all that whiny, depressing politics shit. So what's this week's positive news, sir?
we'll do a little thing on the Olympics.
I love that.
Have you been watching the Olympics at all?
I have to be honest. I'm kind of in a place where I don't have access to the TV like that. So no.
So
I haven't, but I've been watching the story about what's her name?
Simone Biles.
Yeah, which I think is a beautiful thing, and it's again, it never hurts to bring any attention to mental health.
So
and she explained it well. Yeah, she came back, but she said that when her mental thing, she had the dizzies or something like that, and that fucks up your performance where you can't land on these beams. I mean, the lady said that those beams that they do, the beams are the width of an iPhone. They look way wider on TV.
I can't even walk that. Yeah.
No, let alone do a fucking double back spring. So shout out for her and the awareness, and shout out to all the athletes in Tokyo. Supporting our country or and all the support that she's getting from a lot of athletes out there too that have her back, which is beautiful. So I didn't mean to call her story, but I haven't been watching it, but I've been watching that story though. Yeah.
So USA's got 32 gold, probably more since of today. 79. Yeah. We're in first place with medals overall, 79. Men's basketball is going for the golds later today. So by the time this comes out, they will hopefully.
Well, they're probably already played. It's like morning and right, or like 12 hours. So it's probably already happened. Yeah.
So hopefully, they win, get the gold. No, it's they're in the summit. No, it's not yet. So
it's later today.
Yeah, but again, Simone Biles came back. She won a bronze. It's just some cool things to watch. I mean, some of these stories of these athletes is crazy. I've been catching a little bit. I think when I was younger, I was like more into it a little bit, but still, some of these.
I feel like now that I'm older, I have more appreciation for it.
No, I appreciate the athletes and what they do. It's unbelievable. Some cool stories, and man, some of these diving and track and field athletes, insane.
Unbelievable. Yeah. So they dedicate their lives to that craft, man, and they are the best athletes at that sport in the fucking world, man. It's crazy.
It is. It's pretty insane to think about.
It's so funny. My mother hit me yesterday, and she said to me, "Oh my God, you have to watch these girls skateboarding." She goes, "I'm like blown away."
Yeah.
We're talking about an older woman that's sitting there watching young girls like ice skate. I mean, not ice skate, skateboarding. So it's like, the impact is like everywhere. So it's like, it's crazy.
It is pretty crazy.
I love what it's doing, man.
So I love
it's good healing for the world right now too, a little bit.
Absolutely, I agree on that. And so that's the PNN. That's a positive news. Check out the last one. So. Well, another awesome
shout out Jeff.
Another awesome show. They can find Jason where?
Jason Smith Music on Instagram.
Yes, sir. And they can find me at Jeff London _ on Instagram. You can find us I'm the promoter. He's the DJ. We got new merch coming out. Check out.
Yeah, we're going to tease that this week. We got to get that link tree or whatever put together to get you guys everything set up in one spot. Or the hobo or whatever you said it was.
Hoobie. Shout out Hoobie.
Hoobie. Shout out Hoobie. Yeah, Hoobie Doobie.
All right.
Awesome, Jeff. It's nice to see you, man. I can't wait to rock with you this weekend, brother.
Yes. I'll see you.
Peace.